Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Jane Santos, good morning and welcome to you.
Oh, good morning.
Oh,
Hello.
lovely to talk to you, Jane. Yes, I've been telling the listeners you've had a very, very busy time this morning. You've been doing lots of errands, and now you've arrived home to some of your time. And Jane, I believe that you love the ceramics. You're a mosaic artist. Tell us about that.
I am. I started Mosaics way back about over 20 years ago. And I was working in another art medium before and happened to see Mosaics. I was living in London and got interested in Mosaics, learned how to do it, and the rest is history.
Now, by mosaics, do we mean little bits of ceramics that come together a bit like a jigsaw puzzle and make an artwork?
Yeah. Now, there are two types of people who do mosaics. There are those that break china and put broken pieces together, or my style is I actually use tiles, manufactured tiles, and I cut them by hand.
Goodness me. How small are your components that you make?
Some of them actually are really quite small. I specialise in the old houses of Wellington. And to do some of those pieces, like round the windows, you have to cut really small.
Goodness me. I love those old houses of Wellington. You mean the sort of the Victoriana type houses you find in Mount Vic, that sort of house, is it?
Those, yes. From all over Wellington, I actually sourced my material. The old bungalows or the old villas.
Yes.
Yeah, some of them are older than Victorian, and they're just fascinating designs.
They were lovely, weren't they? I mean, many of the houses had a lovely ornateness about them, and
yes,
and also a very settled quality as well. There's something very comforting about them, isn't there?
There is, and I've always been interested in buildings. And, I just love them. I love the colours that people paint them and the ornate little detailed lace work, which I try to reproduce. So I take the houses, I use photographs, and try and get them as authentic as I can. But my actual composition of the mosaic is mine.
Excellent. So, how small would these pieces be? I'm just thinking about the window frames, etc. This must be a very intricate process you're working with.
Oh, absolutely. They're really, really fine pieces. So, let's say I start with a tile that's a 2.5 centimetre square.
Right, about an inch, yes.
About an inch.
Yep.
And you cut that into 16 pieces.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And that's probably about the smallest that will actually appear.
Do you break many tiles when you're doing this slicing up?
No.
Whoa.
No. Now I use hand cutters, and the tiles that I use are they're very, very, very strong. The porcelain tiles come from France, and they're designed for large public spaces and swimming pools.
Okay.
So they're designed to be really tough, and so they cut beautifully.
It sounds like a lot of work, Jane. This must take ages to do one of your masterpieces.
Yes, some of the panels that I do take well over 100 hours.
Oh, my goodness gracious me. And this is something that you are indulging in Waikanae.
Yes.
And do you have a studio, a sort of an area where you can go off and create a lot of mess and go on creating?
Yep, I have a gallery.
Oh, really?
And next to the gallery is a wet workshop where I can do cementing or grouting.
Oh.
And I have also have a workshop where I actually do the actual work.
Goodness me, you're well set up. You're very well organised. Gosh, you have done it so well. Now, does this mean that people can bowl up and have a chat and also possibly take away a masterpiece any time of the year at your place in Waikanae?
Now, my gallery is generally open in the summer from 10 till 5.
Right.
And at other times by appointment.
So this is at Kohikohi Road in Waikanae?
It is, number 3.
Number 3, you can pop in and see Jane. And of course, Jane, I see you're listing number 68 on the Kapiti Arts Trail this year. Now,
I am.
Jane, how important is the Arts Trail to someone like you?
I believe the Arts Trail is important, and I've seen it grow over the years from when it first started, and there were very few artists around. Now there seem to be an enormous number of talented people around. It's important because it does enable people to come and see what you're doing without seeing your work in exhibition. Because I do a lot of exhibitions, but I don't attend necessarily.
No, so people can't have a chat with you. Oh, I see.
So it enables them to come and chat to me and talk to me about the work and how they're doing and whether they're inspired by it.
Well, I'm sure they are, and I'm sure they'll be full of admiration for the workmanship, but also the perspicacity, the determination that you show with these. It's something to be very, very proud of. And
I'm very passionate about the art.
You are, you can tell it, and it's a beautiful thing. And you certainly add to our community, Jane. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, and keep up the great work, won't you?
Thank you very much indeed, John, for asking me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, my dear. There we are, Jane Santos.
106.3 Beach FM.